Henry, how we doing?
Besides that, great. We're back to the rhythm where it almost feels unnatural, but this is the majority of the year.
Yes.
I mean, this is the next 40 weeks for us.
Yep.
Where we're able to wake up, execute on what we see are the highest priorities, and then just let the day continue to build. So exciting.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievably exciting.
We live in incredible times.
Yeah. And you start to see how important it is to realize someone's shaping the world. If not you, then if you don't know who, you really don't know what the world's about to look like.
Yes.
And
it's exactly what I'm talking about today from 0 to 1.
Yeah. One of the first things I wrote down in reflection about the summer was this line of how real achieving something becomes when you fall in love with what gets you that thing instead of the thing itself.
Yeah. It's an interesting back and forth, though, because I was almost going to bring up the opposite. I wrote this morning that clarity it affords so much energy. When you are crystal clear on what you have to do, what you want, it
100%.
You lose energy in the fuzziness of the future.
I agree.
And a good example of this, I was talking to one of our players, and just great player, top class Division I talent, and I was asking just, do you have a dream school? Do you have a place that you want to go? She's like, no. And she was hesitant to say it. And then she did say it, and you could see that light start to come.
Yeah.
The energy in which, the energy completely shifted. And in that moment, I was like, that's the goal.
Yeah.
That has to be the goal.
Yeah.
Don't be so hesitant. The stance of being humbly hopeful, that is not where you want to be.
I
you
completely
have to have
agree.
Conviction.
You have to
you have to want and love something specific.
But then
you go
achieving
straight,
it.
Yeah.
Achieving it becomes so real if you love what gets you that thing.
Oh, yeah.
Now you must know, idolize the view from the mountaintop. But if you don't like climbing, you're never going to actually get there.
No, that's what I love. And this might seem like unrelated, but it's incredibly related. So sweatshirt season is probably in 2 months. And on the sleeves of our sweatshirts are kind of these 3 principles. The first one's architect greatness. Second one is train to thrive. Last one, sincere pursuit. And it's that staircase where architect greatness, you have to have a clear aim, compelling vision. You have to have that setup. Then you cascade straight down to, all right, how are you training your nervous system? What skills are you acquiring? You've got to obsess over that process. And then the last one is the identity of sincere pursuit. I'm somebody who goes hard, who is obsessed with, again, some sort of mission, purpose, and aim that I'm waking up with. You can see it in my face. There's not fuzziness in what I'm about. We've said that a number of times. You can notice when somebody falls off. It's almost like in their skin.
Yeah.
It's in their eyes. And someone who has a definite purpose, the world, it not only backs them, it not only moves aside, but
I don't know why I'm going completely blank on the famous book that was written from the psychologist in Auschwitz, where he could generally
Man's Search for
Meaning, of course. He could predict when someone was going to die.
Yep.
Because of the lack of light in their eye. And people, when we say comments about a player or say they're drifting, watch them become a 2-week warrior or something like that, it's said in jest, but we have a macro view because we've had this micro intense experience of our own careers. So we had our own careers, which were very real and very intense. And now we see hundreds of careers unfolding. Yeah. So it's just, the case study is insanely deep for every personality trait and type.
Yes. No, it's a gift for us, but it's sad to see, because from our perspective, you see, there's not really much we can do. You can only say so much, but you don't have a ton of influence.
And that's what I talked to Lexi about, and she was reflecting on her career, I as well. And we said, man, if we would have just known how predictable investing in the inputs and then what the output is, you would go, man, I can do this. I can actually do this. It becomes not easy, but simple.
Yes.
And then you see kids flounder or just not have the correct priority list. And it's a shame, because again, what I wrote, how real achievement becomes when you love what gets you that thing instead of that thing. People idolize the college athletics life, which they should. Getting the gear is epic. The travel is awesome. Having the admiration of the students on campus is genuinely very cool. but you have to like love what gets you that.
Yeah, I agree. You have to love being a weapon of a human being, like actually being definite. That's exactly what I'm about to actually talk about right here, From Zero to One, which is incredible book, Peter Thiel. I've read it back probably 2016, 2017, but there's points in your life where a book just doesn't even apply, right? Didn't have the businesses or the mental scaffolding to put any of this information to work. And just on an aside, I've been very benefited by following intuition, meaning if a book continues to stick out to me, I go, wonder why that title, wonder why that person, wonder why that theme keeps popping up in my day to day. I go grab it and I go, oh wow, this has exactly what I need at the right time. That's why I used to say, I basically have a cosmic curriculum. I'm just following the thread of interest. Well, 0 to 1 called to me again, picked it out, and just some parts of it have been incredible, not only for our businesses right now, but personally. This is something I wish I would have been told earlier. Would it have changed much? Don't know. I fortunately ran into this Emerson line early, but the way Peter Thiel then expands upon it, awesome. So this is a classic, Emerson. He goes, shallow men believe in luck. They believe in circumstance. But strong men believe in cause and effect. Now he goes to the next one, the first explorer of the South Pole, and he goes, victory awaits him who has everything in order. People call it luck. And so there you see this, what Henry's calling love, what some would just call schooled in the art of inevitability, Jim Rohn line. But it's just trusting. It's not even, trust is like a weird way to say it. It's just like understanding. And Peter Thiel,
doing leads to becoming.
Yes,
you just
do
trust
the thing,
doing.
Do the thing, have the power. Do the thing, have the thing. And this is not even quote unquote law of attraction. It goes back to the one before it, which is action is the attraction. It creates the ripple effect. But Peter Thiel talks early in the book about the future, like Henry's saying, someone will build it and design it. And it's rooted in today. And it gets planted more and more. It grows more and more through actions today. But he goes on, this is the part that I love. He goes, you can expect the future to take a definite form, or you can treat it as a hazily uncertainty. If you treat the future as something definite, it makes sense to understand it in advance and to work to shape it. But if you expect an indefinite future ruled by randomness, you'll give up on trying to master it. Indefinite attitudes to the future explain what's most dysfunctional in our world today. Process trumps substance. When people lack concrete plans to carry out, they use formal rules to assemble a portfolio of various options. This describes Americans today. In middle school, we're encouraged to start hoarding extracurricular activities. In high school, ambitious students compete even harder to appear omnicompetent. By the time a student gets to college, he's spent a decade curating a bewildering, diverse resume to prepare for a completely unknowable future. Come what may, he's ready for nothing in particular. A definite view, by contrast, favors firm convictions. Instead of pursuing many-side mediocrities and calling it well-roundedness, a definite person determines the one best thing to do, and he does it. Instead of working tirelessly to make himself indistinguishable, she strives to be great at something substantive, to be a monopoly of one. This is not what young people do today because everyone around them has long since lost faith in a definite world. Memorize that.
Yeah.
Memorize that.
A ripple.
Oh my gosh.
A ripple goes in many directions, and I hope one of the ripples that we're trying to create goes in that one, which is
Monopoly of one.
Monopoly of one. Kids are not ashamed of wanting to be great at something.
Yes.
The fact, it is so heartbreaking when, I'm not saying a kid makes a decision to not be great, but they don't realize the choice they're making is not going to allow them to be great. It's literally going to be impossible.
Yes.
Because, and I said it to one of our players who showed up to their first field hockey practice. I said, hey, you can play field hockey. I am so fine with it. Not going to be upset. Just make sure you know you're consciously choosing. Someone will get better than you.
Yes.
Like in this time,
you will not be great.
You will not. Someone will choose to not, meaning they'll make the sacrifice you're unwilling to make, and they will get better than you.
Yeah.
As long as you're okay with that choice, like, do it.
And they'll bring examples up like, well, this person can play multiple sports. Well, well, you guys did. Well, let me rebuttal that. We could have been so much better.
Yeah.
We made it to the highest level, but were there ultimate split tree decisions that could have happened that would have set us up? Yeah, sure. Okay, we look back, we get to use that for our own lessons. You cannot use other people's stories. You can use them for reflection, but you don't know how they were built, the level of standards that were put on them way earlier, how much earlier they got the fundamentals of the game, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many different variables.
Yeah.
Like genetics
Also,
can't calculate that.
Who are we to ever say you would want our experience? I mean, it was insanely stressful.
Oh, yes.
UNC was not
No.
the ideal situation with how much we had to learn and how quickly we had to either decide to fight or quit, just give up.
Thank God for delusional self-confidence, because
Yeah.
your world either will be shattered or you will impose your world onto things. It's like when two people meet. It's the gravitational pull of two planets. The stronger one will win and like warp the other one to eventually see the world as they see it. I mean, you've got to, exactly. That right there, what we were saying, you have to love being, like, forming yourself into a weapon to take on the world.
I think the classic rebuttal for someone would be, but what if in 8th grade I choose the wrong thing and then I'm unhappy 3 years later that I didn't choose something else?
Good life lesson.
Great life lesson. Granted, choosing the right thing is important, but you go back to, is your goal what the thing is giving you or who you're becoming doing the thing?
Yeah, I'll also say, what do you mean by right? What do you mean by wrong? Is it eventual? Like, are you saying you just burn it out and you quote unquote feel burnt out, or you eventually hate it, or you eventually, I mean, think about the tennis players. There's a great article of our friend JJ Wolf in the paper. He's coming back to Cincinnati, won last night, coming back from an injury. At his peak, I think he was 39th in the world, 2023. I think he's had a shoulder injury, but point is this, when we were playing club soccer with him, you think he eventually obviously stopped club soccer, went all in on tennis. Tennis players and golfers,
they don't apologize for their pursuit.
They do not. Swimmers, they do not apologize.
You only hear it from the football and basketball crowd that wants to take the Olympic sports players. Yeah. But the regret I think regret is a choice, whether you feel regret over your decision or not.
I just love the line.
Because it's the wrong perspective.
I love the line, monopoly of one.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm not saying the game Monopoly distorts kind of what that
Monopoly is.
Yeah, what a monopoly is, but it is like you've reached exit velocity to where there's no more competition for you. You have so defined yourself as world class, as remarkable, that you get to stand in a category that is undeniability or respect. Doesn't mean, well, I was going to say it doesn't mean everyone starts to like clear the way for you, but it's that you have defined your place in the world. Yeah. In that world. In that, like,
and you can create physics in your environment. You can help those around you. You can
that's good. I've never heard that.
You can change days for yourself. Essentially, you're creating the future for those around you, which is, I think, what we do over the summer, meaning giving someone the skill, giving someone the ability, or handing an opportunity to someone, I think the most beneficial thing we give is the opportunity then to lead. Yeah. Meaning you give someone a skill, but then you give them an opportunity to do something real with that skill.
Yep. To be a leader,
to be a real leader, to impact others. And I think this summer, the biggest step the culture has taken overall is watching the older players spot the younger players, seeing the guys show another player how to do the form of something.
I agree.
Seeing players cheer across the field at a shot.
Yeah. I think we maybe take that for granted. Yeah. Personally, and then therefore for our community. But there's a lot of people who go through this world and never get the feeling of someone looking up to them. Yeah. In the place of being responsible, or not even being responsible, but feeling that younger person, admiring, and then leaning on and caring. We had some of our college players last days yesterday, and you can see the sadness of and the tears of the younger players and losing not like a friend, but a role model, like someone that they're leaning on and attaching themselves to. It's an awesome thing to, one, cry about, and two, feel sad about. But it's an awesome thing to have. Like, how blessed are you to have, one, somebody that quality to look up to, but then two, to be that person is an honor. It is an honor. And it's only to forget it or lose sight of it is unfortunate.
Yeah. It'd be strange to not feel some sense of duty to the people around you.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't imagine a life disconnected from feeling the need to show strength because people are watching. And that's, again, the message to the role model is almost the same as the message to the younger player. The younger player, you have someone above you that believes in you, thinks you can be super special. Honor that relationship by becoming special. And then when you're the older role model, you have players underneath you that believe you are someone worthy of admiration. So become great and inspire the next generation to stand on your shoulders.
Yeah.
Being disconnected from community is not how we were meant, which this is another thing we've been talking about recently. And the U Project this summer has just like opened our eyes greatly to what we've been talking recently, the difference between progress media and social media.
Yep.
And then the idea that reframe what Instagram is.
Yep.
Instagram is not a social media app. It's literally you're subscribing to Netflix of people. You're subscribing to their show. You're just seeing what they want you to see. Now, the U Project is a social community. It is your network of people. And I think the ratio is obviously the culture we're building, but you get 19 likes, you're getting 19 comments.
Maybe more. Yeah.
And that's a real social network.
Yes.
And
that is your friends sharing their journey,
your friends.
supporting, they support you in yours, you get to support them in theirs. And it's exactly what we dreamed of building.
Yes.
It's going to be exactly what we dream of building.
Because there is this influencer culture. They're not influencing anything.
No.
It's
distractive entertainment.
Pure entertainment.
Yes. U Project has allowed me to shift my own relationship with social media in such a profound way that once I get the time to write, I want to go hard on an essay about focus because I don't think anybody until you truly shun media understands what focus is. I didn't understand what focus was until I literally was just like, I will never ever again, it's not even not consume social media, but I'm not going there for my source of connection. Everybody that I care about
is now on the U Project app.
Is now on the app. Okay.
Other than a couple.
Yeah.
There's some people we really care about.
Absolutely. I'm going to go check on them, but on my computer in a very, very tight way at like 15 minutes at the end of my day. Yeah. But once you feel that level of the mind just fractaling and all of a sudden bouncing and pinging around to 1,000 different things until the mind has been like tunneled into one thing in like a steadfast, focused manner, there's nothing. I mean, I've really started to understand what people have said about focus and presence is a superpower.
Yeah.
Few people achieve it because the one you could call the chaos machine of the phone. Two, then of course, in the studies that will come out, I don't know who was on Joe Rogan recently. Oh, Dr. Zach Bush. He talked about you can see right at 2008, 2009, the introduction of the smartphone and then the creation of social media. It is unbelievable. Yeah. We are living in a science experiment that nobody knows what it's going to do, except we're starting to obviously see it. Books like The Anxious Generation, your own personal experience. Just if you take a step back and every day clarify, right, specifically, here's my goal. Here are the top 5 critical tasks that have to occur today. And you do not distract yourself until those things are done. Genuinely, you don't fractal your mind. You don't just... If you
will have peace of mind. And that is literally priceless.
Peace. Yeah, unbelievable peace of mind.
I love this.
It is incredible.
I love this one quote, which is, the mind is not a vessel to be filled, but a fire to be lit.
Yeah.
And you can see the difference between a player that their mind is just an engine. It's a consuming engine of the circumstance. And it's just like pushing them. And then players that their mind is just a garbage bin. And it's just been filled with trash.
Yeah.
And it's two different things. Do you believe your mind is something that is filled with things, or your mind is just an engine that eats whatever you're in front of?
Yeah, what is stimulating
your mind? It's just dominating the moment.
Yeah, what is stimulating your mind day to day? It is there's that book, Barbarians at the Gate. And I just love that concept where you are primarily the defender of your mental landscape. You have to cherish and really protect what goes in there daily. And it needs to be positive. You know, what's helped me a ton, maybe this is the last thing I'll say, we'll try to keep these a little tighter. But the thing that has helped me a ton is I will name somebody as my current mentor. Like, I will study this person for 7 to 9 months. You know, I've bounced around from one person to the next, to the next, to the next. And when you find that thing that you love, that person that all of a sudden their words resonate with you, their energy resonates with you, you trust kind of them as a funnel for information where you're like, this person is more well-read than I want to understand them almost as if I could finish their sentences eventually. That will change everything. Because if you're just going to social media to get that little dopamine hit, that little awakening of energy, it is.
We will have players that start reading soon, and they're going to be superhuman.
Yeah. You were reading. Yeah. There is no single grade or hack.
The last thing I'll say, 'cause I was writing about this yesterday. The days that you can separate yourself are the ones where you have the most choices. The most, meaning when you show up to training and everybody's there, like, you're not really making any choices. Yeah. You chose to be there, but other than that, you're getting what everyone else is getting. But now that we're heading into the school year, that's when you can separate. We'll see who's making the choices, who's a part of the breakfast club, who's doing something in the evening. Doesn't have to be exhaustive, just needs to be moving you closer to where you want to go.
Yes.
And reading, again, it's undervalued, but it is the most important thing you can do.
Yes. Reading and journaling are so, from a observer's view, like, what's that gonna do? I'm just putting words in my mind and pen to paper. You're like,
you're removing the constraints on your mind.
Also, new ideas in, new ideas out. Yeah. You're in a shell of your current conception of the world. And so what needs to happen is you gotta just throw shit at it and break yourself out. And all of a sudden, insights, revelation, inspiration, the call to a new and more elevated step.
Think of your mind. Think of your mind as a dark room, and your flashlight right now is barely even lighting up a corner of it.
Yep.
And the more you enlighten your mind, the more of the room you're able to see.
Yeah. If you got Elon Musk saying all you should do is read as much as possible, even if it's the dictionary, just read it.
Let's trust him. This man is doing something that I can't even believe. His SpaceX company meeting yesterday was so outrageous, the vision he's casting.
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
It is. Yeah,
he mentioned Star Trek like 3 times.
Yes. They're looking at sci-fi and they're going, wait, this is
what we've been dreaming of.
Yes.
We've been talking about this since we were 10 years old.
Yeah, and you can't stop snoozing your alarm.
Yeah.
Not you, I'm saying people. Yeah, last thing. If you're a young athlete, young kid, you're going into school season, just put this standard on yourself. If you don't do stuff before school, I don't want to be harsh, but
so irresponsible.
Yeah, come on. There's got to be something.
I have to share the last quote, the quote I shared this morning.
First off, too, it doesn't have to be a full hour. You know, it could be 10 minutes of mobility, 5 minutes of mobility, making sure you get hydration in, reading 5 pages, doing 10 minutes of
remembering
wall ball,
what
doing
matters.
A 10-minute run, like all of that stuff, writing down your goal for the day, 3 things you're grateful for, 2 things you want to improve. Those things don't take long, but you talk about the biggest difference in what I talked about before, having a definite view, firm convictions, being determined to be great at one thing, to be a monopoly of one. That's where it starts. That is where it starts.
What about my quote this morning that you project got?
It was good.
Insane. This is the last thing I'll say. It's this quote. It says, "It's not winter that defeats you. It's your insistence on summer."
Yeah, that was fire.
And that is the definition of someone who gives up on their morning grind. Because it's not the warm bed that defeats them. It's them wishing getting out of bed was easy.
Yeah.
Them not expecting what they're trying to do to be hard.
Yep.
Them not expecting a couple mornings to be just like randomly sad because of how hard it is. Expect it to be hard. It's not winter that defeats you. It's you wishing it was summer.
Only easy day was yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, there's easy moments inside of hard days.
Yeah,
That's what you wait for.
Weekends too. You wait for the sleep in sometimes.
Yep.
All right. Are you good, Henry?
Yep.
All right. God bless you, my friend. Praying for you. Please pray for us.
Thanks for sharing the show.
See you next time.